Really? Oh, I thought that was on one. I thought it was on two for some reason.
We're good. Thank you for keeping track of my car. Hi! We're recording. So Grant's obviously with me today. I'm just gonna cut straight to the point. A Million Ways to Die in the West. It's not very good. I guess it really depends how big of a Seth MacFarlane fan you are. But even for Seth MacFarlane diehards, this is still not very good.
Yeah. Like, I'll admit, I got, like, an okay amount of laughs from this, but...
There were a couple moments even out where it's like, okay, that was funny.
Yeah, because there's a saying, I'll admit. Just because I find something funny doesn't mean it's good, and just because it's good doesn't mean it's... Wait, something along those lines. But either way, the point is made. You know, it's like...
No, not really. I think you gotta try it again.
The point I'm trying to make is, even though I will admit I enjoy something, that doesn't mean it's good.
Fair enough. Like, yeah. I've made this point before, I love the Ghost Rider movies. I will never defend them as good movies, but I do enjoy the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But, it's a Seth MacFarlane comedy. Okay, yeah, I gotta say this because, this is the part where I say I told you so, going into this, because I was pretty much the only one of anyone, like, that thought this movie was gonna suck.
Yeah, well, admittedly, it's like one of those things where, like, you know, I'd hope for a miracle, you know, something good after. Sorry, miracle.
No, you gotta afterwards. You kind of have to.
I
hope for a
expected it to be good because of Ted. Then I saw the reviews. Then I hope for a miracle, and thankfully, it wasn't as terrible as the review, you know, as I expected based on the
I was kind of hoping for a miracle from the get-go. Then again, apparently, I'm just a raging, cynical asshole who's so narcissistic he can name everything after himself. But that's a whole other thing.
Well. For me, as long as I laughed more than Neighbors, I was fine.
That's true. Well, we didn't laugh at all in Neighbors, so the bar set already pretty low in that.
Yeah, I think with Neighbors, I got like a couple laughs.
I was like, oh, again, that was mildly amusing. Followed by, oh dear God, make it end.
Yeah.
There was a part, I just got bored. That's kind of what it comes down to for this movie. It's like, all right, can we just wrap this up? Because again, it's way too fucking long. Which is the theme we have for a lot of the movies we've seen lately.
Yeah, like this thing, it did not need to be 2 hours long.
I'm astonished they got 2 hours out of this thing. Like, I thought for sure it was only going to be an hour and a half. But
it should have been, but then again, you don't watch Family Guy a lot. You don't know how long they'll stretch jokes out.
I've watched plenty of Family Guy. Are you kidding? During my early teenage years, I watched the shit out of Family Guy.
Let me rephrase that. You didn't watch it once, you know, after the 5th season.
Probably. I probably have. I've probably seen a few episodes, but anyway.
But yeah, because like after that, that's when they had that era where they just like drag jokes on for like 2.5 minutes at a time.
And that's the problem with Seth MacFarlane is I think he's kind of a one-trick pony. I think people are kind of getting tired of his shit, to be frank. Like, I know he's still got a big fan base of Family Guy and stuff like that, but I think people are starting to recognize the fact he's really only got 1 or 2 tricks up his sleeve, and that's really about it. Like, we've seen like, okay, here's my major problem with this movie, and it was a problem I had in the trailers. Nobody fucking believes me on this, but I still stand by it, is if you're going to make a movie that's supposed to be a satire of a time period or anything, take full advantage of it. Which means, first and foremost, dish the common language. Like, don't use fucking slang, don't use, like, terms we reckon, because that defeats the whole purpose. That was the big problem with movies, like, for a good, at least half the movie, there was no need to put this in the West. None. See, I can't even talk now. See, I'm even using more language than the fucking movie did.
Although I will say the movie did kind of acknowledge at the beginning, like just that.
That doesn't excuse the fact that it's so lazy.
It does. Like I'm just saying they do kind of acknowledge it. The whole, you know, that whole born in the wrong time frame thing is like, okay,
that's just your That's just your excuse to be incredibly lazy. That's all it really is. I mean, let's look at a much better comedy, which is like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Yeah, it's a 10 times better comedy than this.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree.
But it's like, but that's because it takes full advantage of the time period it's
like
in,
actually,
among other things, of course.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, like that found like all the weird shit that went on within that time frame and like poked holes and made fun of like those actual things that went on.
I mean, kind of thinking that some of the forwards kind of the modern day Monty Python where a lot of jokes are kind of hit and miss.
Yeah.
But like, it worked in Holy Grail. Yes, I said it. You can get mad at me in the comments. But what made it work in like Holy Grail is like when you did mix common words in the movie, it made it really funny because it felt so out of place. Like, one of my favorite jokes in Holy Grail is just when, like, what do they call you, a strange magician? He goes, some that call me Tim. And that was really funny, because you're mixing, like, a modern words with stuff that doesn't belong there. That was the joke. This one is just like, we're gonna say fucking shit a lot, way more than I do, oddly enough. Yeah. And those are in themselves supposed to be the jokes, and that's like, that's not enough. That's when it comes. Like the jokes just feel mostly lazy. There are a few that are pretty funny. Neil Patrick Harris, of course, still makes me laugh, even with dry material.
You know, I was actually kind of disappointed.
He had one funny joke that made me laugh.
Which one was that?
There's a part where, for those who don't know, Neil Patrick Harris plays a guy who steals.
Oh, I remember now.
Who steals Seth MacFarlane's girlfriend, played by Amanda Seyfried. And there's a part where they're in bed together. The big thing is he has a mustache, so I think it's this big character trait, and they make a point of really pushing that joke down your throat.
Speaking of which.
But anyway, there's a joke towards the before they have the climactic fight scene where they're in
climaxes.
Anyway, Neil Patrick Harris and Amanda Seyfried are in the same bed together, and she goes, "Do the thing." He goes, "I don't want to do the thing." I'm tired. He's like, "Do the thing, woman." So she starts like lovingly kissing. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I hear loud people. Louder than us.
Oh, fuck that. Who cares at this point? Anyway, Amanda Seyfried starts lovingly kissing the mustache. Meanwhile, Neil Patrick's like,
sucking on it, actually.
Sucking on it. And Neil Patrick starts jerking off. I rarely laugh at jerking off jokes, because I think they're lazy comedy. But this was funny only because of the lines encounter. He goes, I'm
successful. I'm a wealthy business owner.
I'm socially significant. was the one that got me. It's like... That was funny, and I never laugh at masturbation jokes because they're 9 times out of 10 lazy. That was the only time I've ever laughed at a jerk-off joke, so that alone deserves props.
Yeah.
So it's like, but again, there's no reason to make this a Western. Like the only reason it has to have the shootout towards the end and the obligatory Indian scene, which again was also a line one of the few funny jokes in the movie, which was the why are they so mad?
It's like we're sharing. Yeah, we're sharing this country, 50-50 with them.
It's like, they're just selfish.
Yeah. What a bunch of selfish
Something like that. But that was kind of funny, too. There were a few parts I was like, okay, that's legitimately funny. Unfortunately, what should have been the funniest joke they gave away in the fucking trailer.
Which somehow I didn't even see.
I know, you got off so insanely lucky at that. I did not believe my friend when he pointed that out to me. Because someone's like, they showed that in the trailer. It's not even nearly as funny when you see it now. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. Then I see it, and like, I should be laughing way harder at this. This is so disappointing.
And out of all... Okay, someone talking like MacFarlane. Maybe I should do that for the rest of the review.
Only if I could do Goldblum.
Goldblum?
Well, you see, the joke in the Seth MacFarlane comedy is...
why not?
I don't know if I can keep that up for 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, I can.
Yeah, I know you can.
But, nah.
Okay, I'm Batman now.
I'll do it later. Okay, actually, no, I can't get out of it. But anyway...
about the Seth MacFarlane comedy, we have the...
what were we talking about again?
We were talking about the DeLorean that was in...
You spoiled it!
It was in the trailers! I can't spoil it!
I didn't see it! I was surprised! What about maybe the one person who's watching this who hasn't seen the movie?
Hey, come on, we usually get an average of 17 views. There's a whole another 16 on that list. We're doing, actually, for all intents and purposes, our average viewership has gone up since last year. So there is that. We're still not making shit money, but
on the topic of cameos, though, there will be one at the end that...
I'm not going to spoil that one, because that was legitimately pretty funny. Yeah. It was also kind of an apology for one of the more terrible jokes they threw in the movie. Which, again, I won't spoil either, because it plays into each other.
Yeah, it's like, holy
Then
hell.
Again, it kind of pulls like a Muppets, where there's just a few just pointless cameos. Yeah. Like, there's a part where, it takes fucking forever for Liam Neeson to fucking get into town. And that annoyed me, because Liam Neeson is, oddly enough, the person having the most fun in the movie. Yeah. Because he's also the most charming, which I thought was weird. Yeah. And because Seth MacFarlane, quite frankly, is not a very good leading man. At least not as an actor. Maybe voice actor, fine. But, like, as a actual, like, in-presence actor, not so much. He's kind of duller than dishwater. I mean... Yeah, pretty much. Charlize Theron is fine. She's not great, but she's serviceable. I thought it looked like she was... Actually, that was one kind of the weird things, is that it did feel like a lot of the scenes more often than not was just them kind of, like, improvising, shooting the shit together. See, I don't like that kind of comedy. Yeah, it's like... I'm not saying it worked, but it was kind of interesting, because, like, a lot of stuff... It's done better than, like, an Anchorman or something like that. Yes, I said it. All right. I know I got a lot of hate for my opinion on that movie. Fuck it, I don't care. But, at least in this case, they're not resorting to just yelling random stuff as loud as they can, like in some other comedies. What are you looking at? I don't know. I just kind of zoned out. Thanks. I see my opinion, man. That's okay. I've done it to you too. So it's only fair.
Yeah, it might be the after effect of the movie. I'm not sure.
Come on, bullshit excuse you got. We still got one more review to record after this. Yeah. So, by the way, Chef's coming up right after this. I should point that out right now. But
which will be a lot more mixed on, I'd say.
Yeah, we have very different opinions on the movie, I think. But probably more interested in this one. But it's like, well, we do have different opinions on this one. You liked it more than I did because you're a diehard Family Guy fan. I'm not.
That being said, though, I'm still admitting the movie's average. At best.
I mean, it's like there were parts I liked. I liked Liam Neeson. I thought he was funny. But there's a huge plot hole towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, like it's one of those common traps. It's just like you have an opportunity to kill someone. Why didn't you take it?
It's one of those, it's just one of those things. Ordinarily, I can kind of let it go, but this one it caused such a glaring problem towards the the third act in the movie. I was like, it's kind of hard not to
Although for
call
me,
out on.
For me, it was also just weird because, like, at some point, like, I'm not gonna say who gets involved with nearly killing, but basically what they do is, for some reason, they grab his gun, which is on his horse, and throw it to the side.
Well, what happens is, spoiler, obviously, is Charlize Theron is Liam Neeson's, I don't know the characters' names, I don't care.
Clint?
Something like that.
Anna, Clint. All I remember is MacFarlane's character's last name.
Point is, bad guy is married to love interest.
Yeah.
And there's a part where he comes back for, obviously, after her and Seth MacFarlane have kissed, predictably. And he gets all pissed off, takes the woman, rides down to town, and then she knocks him out, and then just leaves him there. To warn Seth MacFarlane that he's coming. There's no one else there.
Yeah.
Like I say, she tossed the gun aside for no apparent reason.
Yeah. And now he has to walk 3 extra steps to get his weaponry back.
Oh, darn. And then right there's like a pile of huge fucking rocks right behind her.
Yeah.
So she can easily just grab a heavy one and go, plunk, and that's all it would have done. Movie over.
I didn't kill him, gravity did.
Exactly. It's like, you could have ended the whole thing right there. There would have been no need for that stupid, pointless Indian scene.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, look, they're Indians, but they're swearing in their native tongue. Ha ha. Comedy! Anyway. People down the parking lot are like, what the fuck? I wonder if I can get him to whoop again. Comedy! No, it didn't work. Alright, well, I tried.
But, but I just realized we never talked about the plot of this movie.
Is there really a plot?
Coward gets dumped by girl, meets wife of
Harris.
Yeah, meets wife of killer. Wife doesn't let him know said fact.
Oh, misunderstandings.
Yeah. And because of that, he kind of wants to kill him after a duel is supposed to take place between him and Neil Patrick Harris because he's dating his former woman.
Yeah, and that led to another joke I kind of rarely laugh at, which is the part where, right before the fight, Anna kind of knows that he's not going to win, Seth MacFarlane's not going to win, so he drugs Neil Patrick Harris with basically laxative. And I don't really laugh at diarrhea jokes, but it wasn't the diarrhea joke that was funny. It was what came immediately after. So what happens is she go. By the way, good body acting by Neil Patrick Harris. By the way,
because what happens is he just grabs some random guy's hat, and I guess they poured black beans in there.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
just starts going at it as hard as it can, and then after it's over, he pulls up his pants. Here, just goes. And he looks at the next guy's hat. The guy just looks out like, no.
Yeah, just...
So he goes... Ow.
Yeah.
See how you like it. Got hit so hard.
The funny thing...
Ow! Sorry,
oh, wow. I hit harder in the Godzilla review.
Wait, when'd you hit me in the Godzilla review?
Oh, I didn't hit you. I hit the movie.
So...
But...
You really need to let that go, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's been 2 weeks.
You haven't let go of Anchorman yet, have you?
Truth is...
that's a terrible movie, so never mind.
That's different, though. Yeah. I loathe Anchorman because of the wide fan base, along with the fact of it being a terrible movie. You just have this weird thing about why you didn't like Godzilla and finding new reasons why you didn't like it.
I was just disappointed. I'll get over it in about 3 days.
Fair enough. All right.
But anyway, the funny thing is, like, that was a joke taken right out of Family Guy.
Was it?
Yeah, it's like, That'll be so easy, it's like taking candy from a baby.
To be fair, the whole slapping hand thing isn't exactly new.
Yeah, well, just that particular joke, by the way, you're almost out of memory. So, looks like we're going to have a commercial break.
We'll be right back. We're not really going to be talking this for another hour, I don't think.
Yeah, I know.
We're pretty much about done, really. I'll edit that part out. Anyway, hi, we're back. I'm probably not going to... I'm too lazy. I'm probably not going to edit that part out. Where were we at? Oh, yeah, we're talking about Family Guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're talking about that smack joke.
But really, aside from that, were there any other real jokes worth talking about? Aside from the end, very, very end, which I won't give away because that's too much.
Yeah.
That's an ending surprise cameo that I won't give away.
Yeah. I did laugh kind of like the stuff in the beginning. It's like, times are hard and it took a toll on everyone. You see some picture of like this 50-year-old woman. This was Miss America of 1880.
I thought that joke was kind of just kind of meh.
I know.
Problem is, again,
it
it goes into just not taking advantage of the time period you're in. It just like a lot of it just felt really kind of honed and lazy. Like, in fact, the majority of the movie felt like an SNL sketch.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the big problem with the movie. It's lazy comedy. I have no respect for that. So
yeah. So it's like, is it one thing for like, it basically was just a very long Family Guy episode.
Pretty much. And it's like, if you're a Family Guy fan, great, have fun. But it's like, there's a good and a bad way to do stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid, oddly enough, is a difficult comedy art form.
Yeah.
It is. Which very ironic. There's a good way and a bad way to do it. I don't think Seth MacFarlane is good enough at it to make a feature-length live-action movie out of it, or at least succeed at it twice.
Yeah, because like as I said,
like Ted wasn't bad. Like I've seen Ted, I like Ted fine.
Yeah,
I didn't love it, but it's like okay, there's some there's some effort in there. Again, that's what it comes down to: is Seth MacFarlane is better as a supporting character or an animated character, but not as the main character in a live-action movie. Yeah, that's kind of what it comes down to. And it's, let's face it, it shocked no one that it got its ass kicked by Maleficent. All right. Yeah. Or Maleficent, as Lauren likes. No, that's just what Lauren calls her, and I've been making fun of her ever since. But
well, Millie, based on what I've heard about that movie, that does kind of describe it too.
Yeah. That took me a minute. I was like, is that an accurate description? Kind of. Do you have anything else to say about this? Like, I've kind of said my piece. But
yeah. One of the ways they could have fixed this, that whole subplot with Neil Patrick Harris.
You know what? I kind of thought, like, either you need Liam Neeson's main villain, or you need Patrick Harris as the main villain. Pick one. Yeah, because just the subplot, like, it just kind of ended, and like. And then now he's gone. Now we're going, because it feels like it's almost like two different movies after a while. Because like you have that whole first half with Neil Patrick Harris, and the whole second half where all of a sudden Liam Neeson's back. Liam Neeson, I guess, has fully embraced his Scottish or Irish. I knew it was Irish too.
Well, admittedly, there were a lot of Irish in the West.
No, like that actually made legitimate sense. Yeah. So, one cameo I forgot to mention about Gilbert Godfrey. Yes.
That was funnier than it should have been. It was just
Gilbert Godfrey as Abraham Lincoln.
Let me see if I can do this one. Just
can you do Gilbert Godfrey? Because I don't know if I can.
That didn't do it. 407 years ago, I came in as a poor person.
You sound more like a really angry person from Chicago.
Yeah. Yes, I do. There are some days I can do it, some days I can't. This is one of those days where I can't.
No, I have to try it. I'm just obligation. Flock! All right. 407. No, I can't do it either.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we made asses out of ourselves.
Is anything else new?
We're like
I was telling Wes the other day, I ran to a copy of Vampire Academy at Best Buy, and I found myself accidentally apologizing to no one. I don't know if you know the long-running joke we've had about that all year.
Yeah.
But
the thing I also, it wasn't Godfrey that I found necessarily funny as Abraham Lincoln. It's just the fact that it was just...
It was Gilbert Godfrey as Abraham Lincoln.
More like just, I don't think that's the real president.
That's another thing that bugs me about Seth MacFarlane sometimes, too, is that he feels the need to this... It's another thing that bugs me about comedies like this. It doesn't trust the audience that's smart enough to actually get a lot of his own jokes. It feels the need to explicitly tell you what the joke is.
That's just...
Sometimes it's part of the joke. Other times it's just, you get it? Poke.
Well, that, it's like... I'd say that was a fair joke just because, like,
No, I mean, that, it worked in that case. I'm like, there's other cases where it's like, you didn't need to do that. Like,
kind of like...
You didn't need to cast random person in the audience go, I get it, as if, like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, we get, okay, fine, yeah, you made a
where
joke.
he, like, literally had to, like, go and explain a comment he made.
Yeah.
Just like...
it's like, you don't need that. It's not... I mean, I get that's part of the joke, but you can at least cut the condescending jackass audience member going, I get it, as if that somehow make... I'm sorry, that's just a big pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're a comedy, have faith that the audience is at least smart enough to get your jokes.
Yeah.
No.
Admittedly, I found it mildly funnier with that, because just, the thing was like, it was kind of just drags it on like this. Yeah. I get it!
Well, see, you don't understand the true nature of the comedy. See, comedy always finds a way to reproduce. And, comedy finds a way. And...
yeah.
Are you doing
penis? You chuckled. It counts.
We're not gonna find a better way to end this video. So, fuck trailers. I think we're just gonna end it there. Good night, everybody.